Hello, once again, welcome to the Security Update, which we often look at issues concerning security in the continent from west to east, and these are the stories making the headlines. At least 100 people killed in Mogadishu's car pumps. Security Council extends UNSA mandate for another year. Ethiopia's decree runs out of medical supplies amid health crisis. Plus, Nigerian government calls for calm after Western allies raise terror alert. Welcome to the program. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, who visited the scene after two successive pumpings hit in Mogadishu on Saturday, he said at least 100 people were killed in the attack. Women and civilians were among those killed in the car pumps. But as we are recording this episode, the death toll rise to 120. At least 100 people were killed and 300 injured in two car pumps that exploded outside the Education Ministry in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu, on Saturday, the country's president said in a statement early on Sunday. President Hassan Sheikh said mothers with their children in their arms were among those killed in the attack, which he described as massacre, although no one has immediately claimed responsibility for the attack. However, the president blamed the Al-Shabaab.
ummadda Soomaaliyeed ee muslimiinta ah dagaala ka dhaxay.
The first of the explosions hit the Education Ministry near a PC junction in Mogadishu. The second occurred as ambulances arrived and people gathered to help the victims. The blast wave smashed windows in the vicinity. Blood covered the tarmac just outside the building. The president is fearing the number of deaths could rise. This attack occurred at the same location as Somalia's largest pumping, which killed more than 500 in the same month in 2017. Following the death of over 100 people in Mogadishu's attack, the UN Security Council has decided to extend the mandate of UNSOM for another year. Somalia's UN envoy Abu Bakr Dahir Osman stated that the UN's goal should be to safeguard the country's territorial integrity. The UN Security Council expressed its worry over the ongoing risks posed by Al-Shabaab group as it unanimously voted on Monday to prolong the UN assistance mission in Somalia for an additional year. The Council requested UNSOM to maintain and strengthen its presence across Somalia and to continue to cooperate with the government officials and the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia. The Council also denounced any abuse or obstruction of humanitarian aid through the resolution, and it demanded that all parties permit and facilitate full, safe, quick, and unfettered access for the timely delivery of aid to those in need throughout Somalia. UNSOM was created in June 2013 by the Security Council to support state building in Somalia. It was last renewed in late May. The Security Council condemned the terror attack on Saturday, which claimed over 120 lives in Mogadishu. Many world leaders have started to condemn Saturday's deadly explosions in Mogadishu, which took place at the same place as Somalia's largest pumping, which killed more than 500 in the same month in 2017.
Several world leaders and international organizations have come out strongly to condemn yesterday's twin explosions, which have left at least 100 dead and 300 injured, according to the President of the Somali Republic. The United States in Somalia issued a statement last night condemning the vicious Al-Shabaab attack launched on the Somali people, saying it stands resolutely with all the Somalis against terrorism. The UN also condoled with the families of the victim, wishing a speedy recovery for those injured. Meanwhile, Turkey also sent a message of condolence to Somalia for the many lives lost and injured in yesterday's deadly attack. A statement by the Turkish Ministry of Foreign Affairs said some of the wounded are under treatment at the Recep Tayyip Erdogan Training and Research Hospital in Mogadishu. This attack comes barely a month after the Somali government launched an intensified war on Al-Shabaab to remove their final hideouts in the country. The federal government forces claim to have liberated more strategic villages from Al-Shabaab.
The federal government of Somalia has sent a request to the U.S. government to level up drone strikes against Al-Shabaab. This comes barely a few days after the U.S. military confirmed that it killed 2 Al-Shabaab fighters with an airstrike near Pula Birta district. Somalia has asked the U.S. government to intensify drone strikes against Al-Shabaab. The request comes as new Somali administration has launched an offensive against Al-Shabaab, with several local clan militias joining the central government's fight. President Biden also recently redeployed 450 U.S. troops to Somalia, reversing former President Donald Trump's abrupt withdrawal in January last year. But the Somali government wants U.S. military operators to be able to attack groups of Al-Shabaab fighters who might pose a threat to Somali forces, even if they are not firing upon them at the moment. The official said such a move would further escalate American involvement in the long-running counter-terrorism war. Few months after his election, President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud ordered Somalia's National Army to go on the offensive in the countryside. Is planning for the delivery of services to stabilize areas that have been newly liberated and is trying to forge stronger partnerships with both clan leaders. The Somali military executed 3 Al-Shabaab members in Mogadishu on Monday. The 3 members, who were identified as Nurweyne, Hassan Poy and Kero, had carried out several attacks which killed dozens of people, including army officers. But we will be back after the short break.
Making documentaries is one of the most creative craft and challenging endeavors you can be involved in. It is an effective strategy to inform, persuade, educate, defend the perspective, and shed light on various issues, policies, and activities. At CBA TV, documentary production is our forte. We capture every TikTok detail of events in highest resolution to tell the story you care about, from politics to human angle, research-based content, educative and informative. We also help you project your story in a dynamic perspective that attracts the world views of the target audience, as there is no better or more powerful way to place the organization's values and achievements than to make an excellent documentary film. No doubt, our strength lies in these ventures, and we pride in many award-winning documentaries which have been earning accolades across Africa and beyond. Let's tell your story.
The Somali military executed 3 Al-Shabaab members in Mogadishu on Monday. The 3 members, who were identified as Nurweyne, Hassan Poy and Kero, had carried out several attacks which killed dozens of people, including army officers. The Somali military executed 3 Al-Shabaab members in Mogadishu on Monday. The 3 members, who were identified as Nurweyne, Hassan Poy and Kero, had carried out several attacks which killed dozens of people, including army officers. Hassan Ali Maalim Parre was convicted for detonating the car bomb in Weatherchi Market on November 2018 that killed 12 people. Nur Ibrahim Mahal Allah was found guilty of delivering an explosive device that killed Mahas deputy mayor Issa Kero in 2019 for a 2020 grenade attack that killed 2 in Wedo village. The men were executed by firing squad at the General Kahir Police Academy in Mogadishu on Monday. Hassan Ali Maalim Parre joined Al-Shabaab in Mubarak district in Lower Shabelle region in 2018 after his uncle Sayyid Ali Adan Aka Istimpoi convinced him to join the group. His job was primarily to lay improvised explosive devices and other explosives. People in connection with the shocking murder of 7-year-old girl in Mogadishu's Karan district. Police spokesperson Sadiq Adan Dodishe told the media that the police had arrested several people, including a woman who is a prime suspect in the murder. Somali police have arrested a group of people in connection with the shocking murder of 7-year-old girl in Mogadishu's Karan district. Police spokesman Colonel Sadiq Adan Dodishe told the media that the police had arrested several people, including a woman who is a prime suspect in the murder. He added that the girl was tortured prior to her murder and had been employed as the suspect's maid. According to Dodishe, the woman forced the young girl to work for 2 years without pay. Her husband has also been arrested and charged as an accomplice. Police in Mogadishu said they received a confession from the suspect, who admitted to banging the teenage maid's head against the wall in a fit of rage. It was just a few days ago when Somali social media users widely circulated on the internet for a video clip showing a woman convicted of the crime to the police. In light of the travel alert issued by the numerous Western nations warning of potential terrorist attacks in the Nigerian capital, Abuja, President Muhammadu Buhari has asked Nigerians to be calm but vigilant. In a statement, the Nigerian leader noted that Nigerian safety remains the highest priority of the government, as security services are working around the clock to protect the country.
The Nigerian government has criticized the United States mission in Nigeria, the British High Commission and other foreign missions over the terror alert they issued last week. The federal government dismissed the security advisories while describing them as false, insisting that it was irresponsible to give signals of heightened insecurity in the country where there was no basis for it. The National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Mungunu, retired, stated this after the emergency meeting of the National Security Council summoned by the Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, the capital. The retired Army General added that security and intelligence agencies are not relenting in their efforts to ensure that all Nigerians and every part of the country remain safe. He urged Nigerians and other residents to go about their businesses without fear, also allaying the fears of Nigerians occasioned by the terror alert. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, said security agencies had been on their toes to thwart all threats. CBA TV last week reported that the United States, United Kingdom, and other Western countries issued security alerts in Nigeria and South Africa over potential terror attacks on government buildings and public gatherings in some cities in the two countries. Just as the Nigerian government, President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa also condemned the U.S. Embassy for issuing a warning of a possible terrorist attack in the country without consulting its government. Kamel Sadiq, reporting for CBA TV, Nigeria.
The World Health Organization said on Friday that Ethiopia's Tigray region has run out of medical supplies such as vaccines, antibiotics, and insulin, warning that many deaths were probably going unrecorded from preventable and treatable diseases.
World Health Organization officials told journalists in Geneva that only about 9% of health facilities in Tigray are fully functional amid access
And with that story of the World Health Organization said that Ethiopia's Tigray region has run out of medical, we'll wrap up our program for this time. Thank you very much for being with us. This is me, Hamse Daabjeerin.